Hi guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. Before I begin, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. In this very particular episode, let's talk about, do you have that first love you just cannot let go of all those years? You know, it doesn't matter who you met, doesn't matter how wonderful the person you are with right now. Your mind is always thinking about that very first love that you have. Like you simply cannot let it go. And meanwhile, of course, you probably have all kind of hypothetical question. What would it be like if you are still with that someone right now? Now, let's talk about why can you let it go. You have a lot to do with because it's your first love. Before we actually have a relationship, we have a lot of speculation or, build up imagination about how this relationship should go. So when we encounter that first relationship with someone, the feeling, the hormone, or whatever we have is naturally more than what normal people would have, because it have a lot to do with all the build-up you have been accumulating throughout the time or upbringing, and not to mention all the soap opera or movie, TV, everything related to love, giving you an idea what relationship should be. So when you come into this relationship, you have expectation how it should go. Sure enough, through that expectation, nothing works. So you decide to break up. Now you believe your next guy is gonna be better than this guy, but only to realize that reality is never as wonderful as a soap opera is to be. So then you continue dealing with the frustration or disappointment. Then you start to do the comparison in your head like, well, my first love, mind you, with added spice already, is better than everybody else I have met all this time. So over the years, you continuously imagine that specific person, how great it is, or how wonderful it is. You magnify it. Do you know what I mean? Like you continuously imagine that's the way it is, or that's the way the person will be, disregarded. Over the years, while you grow, they grow too. So very much that you are simply having a relationship with an imaginary person in your head, but not with the reality. So as time goes on, that imaginations continue to magnify the good thing. We all know. As time goes, we tend to forget the bad thing and we continue to remember the good thing. So sure enough, the good thing continuously magnify and make that person so much better than they are, disregarded everything in between. So at the end, you're really having relationship with an imaginary person rather than the actual person that you had relationship with long time ago. So since no one will ever be able to compete this imaginary person that you make up of, I'm pretty sure over the years you will have all the good quality that you wanted from a relationship. But mind you, it's simply based on imagination. Not imagination, it's simply magnifying all the good quality that you remember of that specific person, but disregard all the bad quality that you have experienced because over the time people forget. So that's why our first love always seems so hard to forget. But in reality is, for those who have been in relationship over and over, and then somehow, some way, your mind been adjusting to normal standard, you most likely don't have too much expectation toward your first love. It's just simply because you know what reality is. While meanwhile, I grow, they probably grow too. So what I'm saying is, very often people only thinking about the past relationship or very first relationship because they themselves are not experiencing a good one at that situation. So very often they are hoping someone will show up in their life and rescue them from their own misery. Throughout my years of consultations, a lot of time people don't know what they can do to attract the person in their life or attract the man to be. Here's a tip for you. If somehow, some way, you don't know where to start, and you do have that very first love in your mind that you simply couldn't let go of, just for you to remember, if you do have someone occupying your mind, unlikely you will be able to find someone new because you have no room for it. So, if that's the case, let's make it very simple. Imagine what that first love have that still attract you so much at this day. Remember, it's based on imagination, right? You can write down and you can put everything on the paper and then ask yourself, am I that person? Because very likely you fall in love to that quality that you always wanted to have as well. So instead of expecting yourself to get back together with your first love, why don't you train yourself to be that person that you will actually fall in love with? Then most likely you will attract someone who got equivalent quality as that one. So anyway, if you know what I'm doing, follow, share, and like. See you next time. Bye now.